For the rest story, I'm supposed to continue with that fulminant, thunderous meeting, but it's so covered in glory and clouds and storms, hurricanes, and whatnot. Well, local for this guy. I mean, nothing earth-shattering happened in the world those days, but in in my world that was typhoon. What do you call that? A tsunami. Okay, so I'm making a break and tell just the story of the dog I heard. The story of this dog in the sauna, and somehow it flabbergasted is not the word, but it upset me anyway. So this guy, I'm not giving his name. I'm not supposing he's watching this, but still, if anybody, I'm not giving his name, and I'm just saying I hope the story pretty much as I heard it. And I'm generally not fond of him, but agreeable, and I sort of like him, even if this side was a bit negative. Nevertheless, I have to emphasize that I did a similar thing, not in the same circumstances. It wasn't my dog really, but let me start with my own thing. There was a dog outside the doors, the fence, which is not mine. It was a stray dog when we moved here, and there was a lot of work on the house. But somehow, I guess we gave him some salami a few times, or I don't know, because he was here, felt sorry for him or something. In short, he parked himself outside the gates, but really mean, chasing people, barking and acting violently. Not my dog, but I felt responsible in a way. He was not moving, running around, roaming. The base somehow on the pile of sand or whatever was outside the gates. Not on my property. It was not registered as my dog, and has never been my dog. I mean, I had, you don't see her, but I had Zara. Later on, I had more, and there was no way. I mean, I was not living here. There was work on the house, and I came to inspect, so to say, and give instructions. But I was not here, so I was living with my mother. We had all the stuff moved from near Brașov. In the house, there was no place to move. Never mind keep a dog or a sparrow. More details may come later, but I'm just jumping ahead because I heard the story yesterday, actually. So this man had a dog, but because he was moved into an apartment or something, I forgot the reason. He said he couldn't take the dog in the apartment. Here I disagree. I had a dog, a German Shepherd, which seems to be the breed he had, and he lived very well in an apartment. I mean, not like stayed there day and night, no. Whenever I went out, I took him with me, and that's on top of the morning and evening exit, necessary for animals, for a dog, you have to walk. But he was at the Black Sea, anyway, you don't have to do that with your pet or your dog, but if it's your dog, you take him to the apartment. That's how I feel about it. Well, he said I couldn't because it's a big wolf, he calls it, loop, clean a loop, which is a bit confusing, but never mind that. So he left it with a friend, an architect or something, who had a house not far from the emergency hospital. That's important because we'll see what happens. And for New Year's Eve, in 88, I think he said it was, in 88 for New Year's Eve, They had a party, a crowd there, and this friend who owned the dog now. And they danced, and they wouldn't let the dog relax for a minute. So he was very worked up, and he also claims that the dog needs to sleep after 2 hours of activity. I didn't know that. Maybe it's right, maybe it's wrong. And that added to the high tension, the stress building up in this animal. More important, they give him some kind of biscuit with champagne. And that did the trick, according to a vet which was consulted after the fact somehow. Dogs, the vet said, either get lame and they just sort of nearly pass out after alcohol, or they become aggressive. I think they've seen a cat in the garden. Anyway, so fact is, while one of the guests of the party was playing with him, trying to get a shoe or provoking him, I have the shoe. No, you don't have the shoe, under the table. The dog bit him so hard that the man had to be taken to the hospital. They had to work on his veins or something. Even to this day, he goes out in summer with a long shirt. Here you have to take a short shirt quite often because it's very hot. But he has a very bad scar over this thing. In winter or when it's cold, he has to cover it because the circulation is really bad, so he gets frostbitten or something if he's not careful. So the effects of that are here after about 30 years or so. In fact 28 years. It was bad. To add insult to injury, furthermore, while they were with this guy at the emergency room, another one, a Chilean, a man, a refugee from Chile, Pinochet was a power, had to go through the same thing. The dog bit him as well. And he says he's funny when he's telling that, but it's a very dark humor, and it's terrifying. It's a horror story to me. The guests were trapped inside the cinema because they were afraid, scared to do anything, and so they had to take this man at the hospital. The next day, the police called and said, "You're the owner of the dog." No, it's not. It used to be mine, but now it's not. Why? We need the dog because we have to cut off his head, and they will make the tests on his blood to see if he has rabies, because this man who's in the hospital, he had another complication. He was under treatment for something else. He had another fall and hit his head, and so it's really bad. The doctors say they can't give him any treatment because then he would collapse. He has this condition. Anyway, you get what I'm trying to say. Even if I don't really remember all the complications, but they were. Fact is, they wanted to get the dog and kill him. So our friend, our storyteller, the man who gave me this account, does this. He goes to the house there, takes the dog, gets him on a bus, I think, and goes to the limit, the last station, the last stop of the bus, and lets him loose in a field or near Bucharest. And in a way, that's the end of the story. But, well, good that he didn't let the police, militia back then, a force of repression in the communist regime, to get the poor animal and kill him. He was alright, by the way. The following day, after he passed this, the effects of the champagne and whatever were gone. The dog was generally relaxed, a good dog. But if you take any being to the limit, I mean, they just break. So that was good that he survived. But I don't know. I took I took the same initiative, if you will. I took this animal who was barking and attacking people here all over the place and causing such a commotion and took it in the car and let it not outside the city but near the Rapid Stadium in Giulești, in a district in Bucharest. But it was not my dog, and well, never my responsibility. I just felt he's doing too much harm here. He will end up being killed or maimed or something. Victims, on the other hand, may be suffering. So he needs a new territory where he's not the. Here he felt he's the alpha dog, and this is territory, and he will just he attack all that moved around. And there he will not attack something that he maybe adapt to this. But I didn't do great either. That's probably the conclusion.